Hey, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Alexander. I'm a guitarist, composer, and overall music nerd from Copenhagen, Denmark. I need to stop saying that and come up with a better intro. And in today's video, I'm going to show you how to build a cool, modern-sounding bass tone that you can use for rock and for metal. Let's go. Alright, so before we dive into the demo so you can hear what this tone actually sounds like, I have some shocking statistics for you. First of all, it seems that 94.9% of people who watch this channel aren't even subscribed. That is totally outrageous, so I think you should take a second, scroll down under this video right now and click subscribe. It would be very nice. It helps out a lot, more than you know, and it's totally free. And I give you free stuff all the time. Just press the button, please. Thanks. Another shocking piece of statistics is that it seems it is 100% males who watches this channel. I don't know if I need to take offense to that, if it is about the way I am, or my appearance, or something like that, or maybe females just don't play Helix at all. Like, this isn't supposed to be a men's club or a boys club or anything like that. So girls out there, you are free to watch the videos. You are very, very welcome. I was just a little surprised and I had to add it into the video. And if you didn't know, I run a website called composition101.com. On there, you can pick up some awesome sounding Helix preset bundles, similar to the preset that I'm going to show you in a minute, as well as custom impulse responses that make your guitar and your bass sound sick. All right, so enough talk. Let's head into the demo and then we'll head to Helix Edit and I'll show you how I constructed the tone. Hey, and welcome to Helix Edit. I hope that you enjoyed the tone demo, or else you're probably not watching this. You probably left to watch cat videos or something like that. I'm just going to briefly run through the preset and share my thoughts on why I have done as I have done. Some of the ideas behind creating presets like this. I'm on my Tokai jazz bass, which I had my pickup ripped out of because it was causing a lot of problems. And speaking of problems, if you hear some kind of staticky in the microphone or in the bass, it is because I figured that this room has no grounding. So it causes a few issues sometimes. Hopefully it is tolerable and not too big of a deal for you. I am working on having it fixed because it is super annoying. Of course, you can write down or copy all of the settings that I show in this little run through, but you can also head to my website and download the preset and the custom IR. It is an MPEG IR that I have captured myself, and I think it sounds really nice for stuff like this. Okay, as you can see, fairly straightforward tone, right? This should work for both Big Boy Helix and HX Stomp users and Stomp XL and all that jazz. And let's just start the very beginning. The input gate is on, minus 48 dB, stock settings, decay is at 500 milliseconds. The amp is the MPEG SVT norm, and you can write down the settings here. And the cab is the custom Composition 101 MPEG cab, which sounds really great. And settings are also fairly basic, for me at least. Low cut at 20 Hertz and high cut at 10K. Super basic, so you can do that easily. And the way I go about stuff like this is that I think of it in terms of mixing as a sort of pre-amp or before amp kind of processing, and I have some after the amp kind of processing, more like a kind of master bus in when mixing and stuff like that. And right out of the box, it sounds like this. It doesn't say much, right? And I think that we will just kick on the LA Studio comp just to get a little bit of sound out of there, right? So that is how I constructed this tone. I basically put in the LA Studio comp fairly early, and the rest kind of lacks a bit of volume because of that, right? So it's kind of a top-down mixing approach, we could say, if I have to be fancy and smart about not turning up the volume quite high enough in the beginning. Okay, so in the preamp section, we have a Studio Tube preamp, we have a simple EQ, and we have the Obsidian 7000, the dark glass emulation, right? And first of all, let's kick on the Studio Pre, and you can of course check out the settings as well. They're also fairly basic. So from that we get some more volume, of course. We get some nice, a little bit of nice spank and some clank from the strings. A little bit of warmth or saturation, one might say. And I think the settings are more or less standard. It just makes basically anything sound really good. Then we have the simple EQ, and I was missing a bit of low end especially, but also a bit of mids, lower mids to be exact. So I put on this. And see. So now it sounds super flat, right? So. Get a bit more low end in there, and of course we'll tinker with that later on. Lastly, of course, the Obsidian 7000. You can write down these settings as well. Has a bit of grit to it because it is a metal track I was kind of building it for. That is, of course, a demo. It's called CF Spectrum from my band Etra that you can, of course, check out. I link to it all the time, everywhere, especially in the end. So feel free to go check that out if you like the track. So you can hear there's a little bit of grit in the top end, right? And we get some nice characteristics out of the dark glass. It just sounds amazing. Also in real life, it's the best fucking bass pedal. Okay, so that's all for the preamp stuff. But this is where usually sort of the bulk of the tone is constructed, with the pre-processing as well, of course, the amp and the IR or the cab. And the rest is kind of sauce, right? And also to make it louder, especially make it louder in this case. So after the cab, I have a 10-band EQ. Not doing a lot of heavy lifting, but as you can hear. It basically just sculpts the tone. It focuses it more, right? So the things that we want comes forward, and the stuff that we don't like as much are sort of pulled back, right? Fairly standard EQ curve for me, at least using this bass. Of course, this is a place to tweak because you probably don't have my hands. You don't use the same pick as me. You don't play this torn up Tokai jazz bass. You probably have a more modern sounding bass, and you will need to kind of adapt to that in the preset, of course. But this kind of works great for me. And as you can see, I add a bit more of that 125 hertz that I also boost in the simple EQ, right? But other than that, I mostly pull out some of the muddy stuff, and I boost some of the things that I want to get a nice kind of bright sounding modern tone, right? So the LA Studio Comp, super nice trick to sort of, I hate this term, but glue it all together, make it sound more coherent. Of course, also make it louder. And then, of course, lastly, the secret sauce, the retro reel, some kind of tape saturation, right? If we turn it on. And of course, it also gets a lot louder now. So don't be fooled only by the loudness. but also by the saturation. Sounds sick. So that is basically all super basic preset, and you can of course steal all of the settings or just head to the website and download the preset as well as the IR. And I hope that you get sick tones out of this. So if you like this tone and would like to support me, you can head over to my website, check out the bundles or check out the IR packs. There is more stuff coming all the time as I have time to sort of develop it. I don't put anything out that I am not 100% satisfied with, and that can sometimes take a bit of time. I'm also on the Line6 marketplace if you like that stuff better. I don't earn as much money from that, but I will let that be up to you. Shoot me an email if you have any questions. You can also drop a comment down below. Remember to subscribe to the channel. I am watching you 94.9% people that just are here for free fucking presets and IRs. I see you. Scroll down, click subscribe. Thank you very much. See you in the next video, guys.